Alright, welcome back. This is going to be another Stormgate cast, and I'm Algorithmore, and this is going to be a game featuring here in the Blue Vanguard. This is dot square, but my friend Dutchy thinks this is KR Bob. We don't know, but I'm going to call this player Bob for now. And his opponent here is my friend Dutchy, who is going under the name Drop It on this account. Drop it! Or there will be trouble. Is that what RoboCop says? Something like that. It's a RoboCop saying. I'm sure this is a RoboCop appreciation account. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. Drop It is all about, whoa, RoboCop. Let's pretend that didn't happen. So what's our supposed Bob up to? Got a Rax out, got some Lancers queued, got the Scout running around eating cabbages. So far, I agree, that does kind of look like a Bob kind of play. Active with his Scout, and with a clean build. That's what I know about Bob. Rallied both his Lancers up there. Scout, ooh, tried to get it. I don't think the Scout got that one. Very active with his Scout. Ooh, may have got that one, but huge work by Dutchy to actually clean that up there. So killed the Scout, even though the Scout I think got one of the slimes. So that actually kind of ruins part of the Vanguard plan. You want that Scout to be help with his creeping, but also to be your Scout and be out on the map eating cabbages and such. So losing that early Scout is usually a setback. We have 6 Bobs here doing a command post. And no... Oh, we're already up to Central Command. Thought so. I haven't really internalized what they look like yet, but I think that looks different. So Central Command, that's Tier 2. And there we go. That's for some of these promotes. And the Lancer promote. Done. And the Lancers then are going to steal all these creeps because of that, as Dutchy decides, I want to get back to a little bit of safety. Safety of my Shroud, safety of my reinforcements. And there we got the speed camp taken now. And is that going to be the queue? So do we have kinetic redirect? Not finished yet, but this base is vulnerable. And Dutchy's trying to defend it, brings his brutes in, tries to do some body blocking, but the Lancers say, fine, we're just going to run into your main. Noticing that there are some fiends running by here. The Lancers are going straight to the main. Lots of brutes there. That's a good defense. But look, fiends are on Bobs now. And nice splits for Dutchy to keep his imps. So a few are probably going to go down. But it's not clear that Bob knows that he's got fiends in his line. He's focusing on his micro here, and he's doing a good job. He's taking out imps and imps and imps. But okay, finally some Lancers come and clean up the fiends. There were only 3. And but that's almost probably a fair exchange so far in terms of Bobs for imps. Again, I'd love to have a little UI element that help tell me that. More promotes going down. Another imp. Oh, but a huge... This is why you put your vault there. So that Magmadon can pop out and do a huge trample on these units. And Bob did a great job of pulling his Lancers back. Now Bob's going up to 3 bases here. There are some things about this play that makes me think it's not Bob. I'm going to keep calling him Bob, but Bob is a little bit more about the... I mean, I'm not saying Bob doesn't do macro games, but I feel like he may have stayed on 2 bases a little longer and gone into more production earlier. But that's just me. Just me. Maybe this is a new player. Now, again, I say that I'm calling him Bob because Dutchy thinks it might be Bob, and Dutchy has played Bob many, many times. And when you are a pro player or a high-level player like Dutchy who plays lots of games, you start to get a feel for people's play styles. And even when they're on their alt account, when you play them, you're like, oh, I think I know who that was. I think that was, you know, Grimmy, or I think that was JXP or someone. Because some of those players, like those two that I mentioned, they do have alt accounts that they play on, and you know, when players are well known to have alt accounts, you might suspect some other accounts to be them. This Shroud Stone is not broken. It's trying to turn into a Ray Stone, which means it doesn't do anything. So that means it was a free kill for Bob here, and we see all those imps just got pulled out by Dutchy. This was just a pure on, this base is sacrificed, so I'm pulling back. I'm going to pull back. Beans here, chilling, but not yet running by. This base, like I said, sacrificed. This base was also going down, so it's not a full loss. Other than, of course, the resources and time committed to it. And so it looks like Bob's going to be retreating here. And now those fiends, they're scout fiends, we'll call them. That's what I call fiends when they just die automatically like that. Of course they're here to scout. They're not here to do any damage. They're here to become bloody stains on the ground and to report back who bloodied them. It was Exos who did it, Mom. Get them. Oh, okay, so Dutchy's playing the Hexen style this game. Lots of brutes. Magmadon there as well. And farm going down here. So not yet saturated. Oh, those are some imps transferring here. And Bob's army starting to move around the map. Rallying some other units over here. A lot of medtechs waiting there. Flat cannon protecting the space. But here we go. Bio heading in. Oh, lots of mines there. I think Dutchy's going to want these units to engage through the mines. Lures them in. Huge mine. Now he says, please come fight me. Please come fight me. But no. Bob does retreat. Taking that infest damage. Now, when the mines go off, they deal damage, and those stack. But the infests, of course, do not stack. You only get one infest. So, that's that additional damage as you're, over time. Okay, Miasma being used on the Shadow Mastiffs here. What that's going to do is mean a lot of fiends are going to pop out of them. And, of course, give you that extra DPS. And now this base also going down again for Dutchy. This base still up, but no fourth base yet for Bob. And its medtech went back, got the medtechs. I like that. And that first push came in, there were mines, took a bunch of initial damage, and Bob was just like, fine, I'm going back. I'm going to go re-get that health camp again that just respawned. I'm going to get my medtechs. I'm going to make sure everyone's up at full health. I'm going to push out again. And now, nice miasma and a good system shock to cleanse. Another miasma to just block the ramp and say, get away. A random mine over here. And what that mine does is give vision as well. Now these units see the shroud down here and say, fine, we're going to push down. Now this is dangerous. Yes, I like how Bob realizes that it's dangerous. And says, okay, I need to move back. Dodges the Nightfall Infestation too. Huge miasmas going down here. Have to pull back. Doing the best now. Bob's had the supply advantage here for a while. And Dutchy has not yet really had to suffer as a result of that, in the sense of losing a big army, losing some bases. And these miasmas are just doing a really good job of trying to zone this bigger army bag. It's like almost all Hexen here. It's like pure Hexen. Oops, my bad. And Wow. Bob is going to just chew through these Hexen. And maybe this was a tech mistake. Needed some more units other than those Hexen. And a lot of really, really low units here from Bob. And you want those medtech. Come on, medtech. Start casting those healing rays down on your units here. But it's looking like this base is being deleted. Meanwhile, more units coming around here. There is a Ray Stone. And a Hellborn and some Hexen trying to defend this base. You got to defend one or the other. Not having enough army to really do it here. Some brutes show up, though. They're like, I heard you guys want some free sacrificial units, because we're the ones. But no. This base is actually being better defended. Hellborn showing up here. Brutes will help out here. But the base might still go down. Looks like the DPS might be high enough just to take it out. And that's while the main army is also pushing in the front here. There are still those mines there. Boom! Huge mine impacts. That's what you need if you're Dutchy. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Hellborn from both sides raining down. Molten Touch. Actually not clear that Molten Touch is... Yep, there's some Molten Touch there. The animation's not quite... There we go. I see it now. But it's a little harder to see. They changed a lot of the animations to look cooler, but also a little less, little understated. And that's going to be GG, well played from Dutchy. Okay, here we are. Back at it. This is going to be a second game between these two. And once again, this is going to be Dutchy in the Blue Infernal. And his opponent, once again, is .square, which is a terrible name to pronounce. So I think it's KR Bob, but we don't really know. So we're going to call him Bob. We're just going to call him Bob. And that's just how it's going to be. If you happen to be .square, and you're not Bob, let me know who you really are. A couple imps are like, get out of here. The dog's just like, I will stay. My owner told me to stay. I am a good dog. It's two imps to come and chase the pup away. One's gonna almost certainly turn into a shrine there, and the other one, farm, I'm guessing. Farm. Okay. So, no one on Therium yet. And okay, the rally just got changed. And the dog, having fed on some cabbage-flavored dog food, returns at full health to be an annoyance again, but actually turns away. And running away. Bob's rallied his Lancer up here. I imagine if this is the same Bob. Yeah, second Lancer on the way. And that is one sign that it is Bob, I would say, is that he's got a very practiced build, a very clean build. Like, look at the positioning. Almost the exact kind of same positioning of the buildings. You know, very clean and practiced build order. That's the kind of thing that we expect from Bob. And look at this, hiding the old pup up in the woods. Can't see me. I'm hiding in the woods. And it's Brutes out for Dutchy here to start, and Hexen leading the charge. So she can do some tanking. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but that's definitely a good way to start this creep out. That way she takes a few shots. Look, she maybe took, yeah, 3 actual hit point damage. And that'll heal up with one second in the juices here. And yeah, she's back to full, and then all you need is go sit back on your white health for a bit, and you're good. That means your brutes haven't taken a lot of damage. Same thing for them. They go sit on that shroud for a bit, and they're going to get that shroud skin. And that's exactly what Dutchy's done. Sent them back to get that healing. We got a shroud stone up. An imp waiting to do something over here, but the scout spots that and tries to be a pain in the old imp's butt. Imp's butt is on fire, so you think that would be not good, but the imp decides, I'm going to become a farm instead. Meanwhile, we have the promoted Lancer force showing up, and look at this. I think Dutchy's like, hey, are you Bob? Because I know what Bob likes to do, run into my imp line, so I'm just going to put all my brutes. My brutes are just going to chill right over the imps. This is the new meta, everyone. When you build your army, you just put them in the mineral line. That way you can't be harassed. Nice micro of that one brute to pull him back because he was slow. Another full brute coming forward. And also great micro. This is good stutter step lancer micro. And so many low brutes. I'm just impressed at how they're still all alive. And then Dutchy's like, fine, go sit in the nice healing camp for a few moments. You'll be right back up to full. And so the same business for the Lancers. They can go heal up if they want, or just take the passive, because they have the passive regen still. And it looks like they're going to come and try and deny this base. And here come those brutes back. Where those other brutes? Those other brutes were still hanging out in the bath. Can't blame them. Exos? No, Hedgies. Hedgies. And yeah, these Lancers are kind of low, but some full Lancers are showing up. And with some good micro, they can be pulled back. Look at that. That's the kind of micro I'm talking about. Going out and eating cabbages. And the Hedgehogs now make the brutes have to run because the Hedgehogs can kite them for a long time. And so we might actually see a denial of this base. But no, here come brutes. And actually, here comes a Weaver as well. Yoink! Take that, Hedgehog. Now you can't run. Oh, but we got the Weaver bug there. And another Weaver bug. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. So the Weaver bug right now is the Weaver will do the lash. And then the unit lashed and the Weaver will just do nothing. They just sit there and do nothing. I think if you give them a command, they will do something. But that makes the Weaver less effective. Now, usually the unit lash gets stunned, so they are usually doing nothing. But then after they get unstunned, they still don't auto-attack, is what it at least appears to be to me. So, hopefully that gets fixed, but that doesn't mean other units can't attack your lashed unit. So, we got Bob here, still making use of these healing camps, and this time he's taken over Dutchy's camp. So now Dutchy's not getting that passive healing, and it's twice the passive healing for Bob. And of course, when you sit in the camp, you get the actual active healing as well. But you see, they're healing up 1 per second here. That's because the healing camp gives you half a second or half a hit point per second. And when you got 2 times 1/2 is 1. That's your math lesson for the day. Manifest goes down. Or I think that... No, actually, I don't think that was Manifest. It was already there. And my brain thought it just appeared. But no, it was already there. And I do kind of like how the brutes are doing here with the Weavers to support them. But it helps that Bob was willing to engage into them. With brutes, you really need your opponent to want to just sit and fight. Because they're kind of slow. Until you get that speed brute upgrade. How are we doing on upgrades over here? We're not yet going to Elder. We've got Soulforge Descendants. And we've got Hexen upgrades here. More defense going down at the front. More production. Bob's on a third base here. Hangar Bay. Machine Lab. And a biokinetics lab. Is that a second biokinetics lab? I mean, we've seen Exos out, right? No? Maybe we haven't. Maybe we haven't. I am starting to confuse the games I've cast. As happens. Vulcan's added here. No one eating that cabbage. No one eating the cabbage. And it's brutes, weavers, and more hexes added now that we're getting some hexen upgrades. It's like transonic rockets being upgraded for the hedgehogs. Skull here taking the camp. It's the energy camp that's useful when you're going hexen. And this health camp is going to get taken out. It's rank 2 now. Remember, that just means a little harder to take out, but more healing. More healing when you get it. So let's see here. That's actually got healing. Sorry, no, it's got the radioactive blood. That's the debuff. But we see that's just one healing camp doing the same rate of healing as 2 healing camps were doing before. And Skull's going to take out this camp. So we've entered kind of a slower phase here, where Dutchy's being a little defensive, while Bob's moved into this creeping phase, trying to move around and take out some camps. Looks like we might be getting a 4th base here for Dutchy. Staying on the macro. We might get a jump jet here, yep. And more jump jets to stun him. Very nice, I like it. I really do like that. And that just helps take out the camp more, right? And look at this. We're now getting Hellborn taking down the trees here and going for the middle of the map. And there we go, beginnings of a 4th base coming from Bob as well. But the 4th base for Dutchy is a little quicker timed, halfway done now. Remember, Bob's cheat, so they don't have to start it early. They're going to start it late, and then they just all build it together real fast. So they might actually finish up before this finishes for Dutchy, but maybe that's not going to matter, as we're seeing a push come out here from Bob, or at least units moving across. Hedgehogs are like, yikes, we're too far afield. We want to regroup up with the rest of our army. Now, Bob's army size is looking a little bigger again, and we saw this last time. Now the miasma, huge job, lots of infests on all these units, and now we got a bunch of jump jets from those Vulcans as they charge forward. And there we go. We're seeing, that might be the Shroud tech. I'm not sure if we have the Shroud tech, but the Shroud looks a lot further from that effigy than normal. Nice push forward, but Dutchy chooses to pull back. One stat of Hellborn, unfortunately getting caught in the middle there, gets taken out. Dutchy wants to be fighting on the Shroud and getting some nice miasmas. I think he's using the miasma to try and be like, fine, just sit in it. If you're going to sit in it with that slow army, and I'll just fire down on you with these Hellborn from the back. And we're starting to see as Bob's units just kind of disappear here under that miasma, under those Hellborn. And with just a nice brute front line to keep him. Huge Nightfall there. Captures all those med techs. All of them are going to go down. Finally, those Exos dying too. And, oh, Hornets out here, but I don't think there's enough there to threaten these Hellborn. And now the Hellborn are going to push into the 4th base. Fiends actually are just going to run in there. They get on top of the bunker. And it goes down. And is Bob going to try and defend the 4th? I don't know, because that base is going to go down quickly. But at some point he's going to have to move to a more defensive posture if this army keeps pushing. But no, Dutchy's going to pull back. Go for the healing camp. So many Hellborn. There's like almost 12 there. Fiend's just chilling. And putting up a little more defenses. Just making sure these bases are unharassable. And once again, trying to stay, you just destroyed a base. You're not sure if you can push all the way in and finish things. So go get another base. Go build your own. Speaking of which, Bob's down here building another secret base, which is the right way to get back into this. You lose a base, build another one. Build it somewhere else. Maybe a ninja, if you have a ninja base like this. But, oh, it looked like that was the plan of Dutchy as well. His imp's coming down here. And what is that, Shroudstone? Yeah. And there's a scrapyard down here, but miasma on the Bobs. It actually got buffed against Bobs so many fiends popped out. And the army's right over here. I love the skull work from Dutchy. He's always got skulls going around trying to spot, like, where are you? And that's like map hacks right there, you know? He allows you to see your opponent, and you're like, oh, you're way up there? I can go push down here now, maybe, or whatever. And we'll see what Dutchy does with that information. He's got a deadly looking army here moving down to the south. And I think he just found this base over here and is like, let me keep denying you these bases. If I keep denying the bases, then at some point you're gonna starve. And fiends show up at this base down here. A couple Shroudstone were already going to town on it, and yeah, this base easily cleaned up. And I like how some of the units are just held in the back because there's the risk of a flank here when you're doing this attack, and you know your army will have nowhere to retreat to. And even though he's got the supply lead, you don't always know that. You don't know what might come in the back there. Maybe it's a fleet of helicarriers and doing bombing runs or something. And, well, there was a nice defensive wall here. It looks like some Felhogs maybe went down, but Bob pulled back, not wanting to attack from that angle. And again, same thing. That's not a great angle to attack from. You could end up in a base race. You could, yeah, you're so out of position from your own base that if you're trying to get home to defend. And this base just finished. It's like, this is my brand new base! No! And here comes that fleet of helicarriers I was talking about. Hornets leading the way. Miasma, defensive miasma to defend the retreat there. And look at, bop, 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 bop. Look at this positioning. Trying to, say, fight into my concave. Shadow Flyer's trying to get a flank in here. And coming in from behind. Impacting, but a real good shields up to save that helicarrier there. Fiends pretty much getting mowed down there. This base is going to die to all the fireballs raining down. Huge miasmas there. More. That's just zoning. Keep that bio away. Let the Hellborn get into a better position to attack the helicarriers. One helicarrier is rallying in here. Huge bombing runs there. Popping a lot of brutes. But still Hexen with their miasma maybe able to keep that unit zoned away. Or all those ground units zoned away. So many healing up those units that were low from the miasmas and the Hellborn. Center of the map is now fully taken with a bunch of Wraith Stones. Fiends trying to see what's going on here, and very well timed as a bunch of Bobs show up and they're like, oh, we didn't want to come and die here, but too bad, you're gonna die. Yikes! Nightfall. You're gonna die and turn into Fiends. How do you like that? Lone Sentry post gonna go down too. So many Fiends, they're not sure what to do here. I wish repairing Bobs were considered a worthy target. Looks like there's bombing runs going down over here while those Fiends were trying to take it out. There's an actual battle going on here. And that base got fully wiped. Was that just from bombing runs? I didn't see any units over there. That's cool if it is. The Wraith Stones there are helpful. Dragon shows up. Dragon's like, get away from me. The Hellborn only attacked the back row of trees. They didn't get the full memo. Those Bobs managed to stay alive, it looks like. Oh, wait, the Fiends are there, but... Huge infest coming down from the Dragon with Poison Breath. But the Dragon flies back. Look how big the Dragon looks on the mini-map. He's a big block. These units pulled back. We got some dropships here. What are we loaded up with? Hellborn. Another infest going down. These units want to push into the center of the map. They want to finish it here. It's just only the Dragon defending. A couple Wraith Stones there are going to help. Look at Look at how the Wraithstone slows down the bombing runs. It actually makes it easier for your units to attack the bombers too. Shroud stones too. Everything gets more attacks. These units look like they're going to come around here. The dragon's still just trying to harass the whole army. And what are we going to get? A huge battle here. The dragon gets taken out. Unfortunately, it was on top of all the units and just got focus fired down too quickly. Brutes over here not wanting to really fight into that, so they pull back. And it's Hellborn on the right-hand side here only. It's like pure Hellborn. Brutes are popping. The ground army for Bobbert is really winning the day. But the Hellborn are just hoping to get some of these helicarriers down. Huge push here. This is the last of it. The helicarriers just hope the ground army can help clean up those Hellborn. But no, it's the helicarriers going down. And now there's only 2 left. Very low. But also the Hellborn force is like pretty much dwindled. It's pretty much gone. Huge battle there. Poor Hellborn getting caught here. Still trying to make this base happen. The Wraithstone's doing their best. I don't know if you really want to push your bio into the 2 Wraithstones. Flaming Imps. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, there's so many Flaming Imps. Brutes coming down. I bet there's going to be a Miasma or 2. More Flaming Imps on the Vulcans. Manafish, Shroudstone. Try and get away from us. That was an epic little battle there for Dutchy in the middle, cleaning up a lot of those units. Once again, trying to get this base down. Huge battles over this base. Huge battles over this base too. This base is up 16 workers. Where are they? Yeah, there's 0 now. Okay. That bug hasn't been fixed yet, but whatever. It's getting better. It's getting better. Huge. They're invisible. Oh, they're stealth bombers. I forgot. I think that's an upgrade. I think that's an upgrade. So you can't see them and shoot them anymore. But this might be the final battle. The helicarriers are trying to save the day, but Fiends clean it up. And this base is down. And yeah, this base is already mined. This base is already mined. This base is not mining. There's a scrapyard over here mining. I think those bobs are like, we need to mine some real luminite here. But we do have mining bases going on for Dutchy here, so he is going to probably stay ahead here. But again, when it's starting into this late game and you're unsure about resources, you don't want to throw your army away. You want to make sure that you're going to close it out. Brutes. Both players just trying to stabilize up a little bit. Finally, we do have a base mining here for Bob. I wonder if Bob forgot that he's got this base down here. Or maybe it's mostly mined out and we just can't see it and he's just ignoring it. Stealth bombing run. Getting some units, but good dodge from Dutchy. Dutchy wants to deny this base. Catching some of those. Using skulls. Oh, I love that for vision. Skulls, of course, are detectors. Miasma trying to catch the bobs. And some of them going down, turning into fiends. Exos there, also sitting in the Miasma. If you can get some of those helicarriers, those are going to be huge. Another stealth-bombing run. Nice dodges again. Oh, but another stealth-bombing run, getting some of the Hellborn there. One helicarrier going down, base down too. A lot of the bobs have been cleaned up. The Exos are so low, they're trying to stand in this healing camp so they can get every benefit they can, but the Hellborns are pushing forward. And we're going to see, I think, the helicarriers go down here. One goes down. Miasma's in the healing camp now. Who wins that battle? I think the Miasma. Another helicarrier down. Exo's trying to do the best they can. Exo's coming down from the bottom as well. But that's GG from Bob in this game.